Here's our test subject for today. This is my daughter's 2020 Lariat F-150 Ecoboost. Crew cab, short box, lovely little soft topper on it. Full weight, nothing out of it. Has everything in it. Has cheap, well, not cheap, they're fuel fake bead locks with some lovely Firestone destinations straight off of what they sent us at when we bought it. So absolutely nothing done to this thing other than the fact that I have a Cobb access port and I have tuned this vehicle. So full weight, everything's here. This is what we're going to do our testing off of to just show you what we can do with the Ecoboost out here. I can do this with HP tuners as well, but I was trying to get some stuff in on Cobb as well. So this one is done on Cobb right now because it's one of the years that you can do that on. You can do it on most of the Raptor years and the 2020 and earlier. After you get to 21, if it's not a Raptor, we have to use HP tuners instead. I do like the Cobb interface a little better for logging and doing remote tuning. But HP will work. We just have to kind of get through some of the glitchiness of their software when you're using your phone to log stuff and send it over to me. So we'll show you what this thing did. Make a couple 1/8 mile rips, both in stock form and with the 92 octane tune. We were running 92. There's no ethanol. Sorry, I shouldn't say no ethanol. Not doing an ethanol comparison here today. I'm gonna change it over for like an E40. You can't run full E85 in these with the stock fuel system. There's some upgrades you have to do to it. But again, the point of this was just to show you what a tune is capable of doing to these trucks. And it's pretty huge. All right, we're gonna get a little 1/8 mile hit here on the tuned version.
30, 60, 1/4 mile.
There's a baseline for the 1/8. Right, this is the bone stock tune. I'm not expecting it to launch well because part of the stuff I can fix in the tune is your ability to stand on the brake and the gas at the same time. So I think it's going to pull this kind of short, but we'll find out here in just a second. It was a dog.
30, 60.
There we go. There's your baseline of a stock 92 octane.
1/4 mile.
I did want to show you guys one other thing, not related to running through speed, but this is just cruising down here. We're at 20 miles an hour, 2-wheel drive, still have traction control on, and I'm going to go ahead and lay into this thing right now. That is not how it behaves stock at all. The throttle response and the mapping that I've done, and then the ability to get the boost to come up very quickly, huge difference. We got a little 45 zone through here, so just a quick rip up to the speed limit from 20 miles an hour. It's almost instantaneous. You can hear the wheels barking loose on this thing in 2-wheel drive. It just gets up and flat out moves. All right, we have a bone stock 2020 F-150 that is my daughter's truck. It's Ecoboost 3.5. This is my tune that's on it right now. We're gonna run a poll with it on the dyno and see what we make. Then we're gonna run the stock tune, and we're gonna run a Cobb off-the-shelf 91 octane tune. Their 91 versus 93 really is really close. It's like a degree of timing, and that's about it. That I can tell on the difference between the files. So the 91 should be a pretty good comparison with us having 92 only here. So I'm going to finish getting this ready and we'll make a rip using Cobb. Again, already set the base map up. We're just going to log directly on this for right now. And then I'll go find my cord, and we're going to try to get an E40 tune on here as well and see what it does. All right, there we have my base map. Made 420 wheel, 530, 529 foot-pounds of torque. Pretty smooth. It's got a little bit of jigger in the middle of it. It's kind of to be expected. It's a little warm right now. So we'll go with that and see what our stock tune does, and 91 octane from Cobb. And just so you see where the numbers ended up at, we made 21.5 pounds of boost on the tune. And we're going to leave it right there because that's about what it'll handle with the charge air temp being up as high as it is. You notice I still don't have a aftermarket intercooler on this. This is stock intercooler. So this thing does stay fairly warm, which is going to limit a lot of the stuff we can do. An intercooler is the biggest upgrade you can do on one of these trucks. All right, we got our tune baseline, trying to get this thing cooled down some. Got 2 fans up on the front now. We're rolled a little bit and see if that helps on the charge air temp. And then we'll go and make a hit here with the stock tune. But right now the charge air temp's up far enough, it's going to pull the stuff no matter what. So 1 second. Didn't realize it was going to get this warm here. All right, we got charge air temp coming down. I think that's about where we were at on the previous one too. It was right around 130, 132. We're going to make the hit here in 5th on the stock tune. I'm not sure if it's going to pull this before the speed limiter or not. So we'll see here in 1 second. As you can see, we did hit the speed limiter on the truck with the stock tune. Boost wise, we only made 17 pounds. Charge air temp was in the 120s during that pull, down to 114. So it's a little bit better. So we'll see what the numbers look like. You can already see we're down quite a bit. So stock looks to be 374 and 457. So we made almost 50 horsepower more. On my tune, torque was up quite a bit. So again, I think we're fighting a bit with the charge air temp, just with the setup in here. You can see it is like 80 degrees, and the stock intercooler does not like heat. So we're going to flash the 91 tune, see what the stock one from Cobb does on this, and we'll go from there. All right, now we're going to do a 91 octane sport tune from Cobb and see what the numbers get. Again, our IATs are up a little bit. They cool down a bit once we start rolling. I did pull the ABS fuses to make this all work. Well, let's see what the stock one does now. Sorry, not stock, but 91 octane Cobb tune. And we're down to about where we were at, and everyone else start at 2,000 RPM. So we saw 21.5 pounds of boost. And let's see what this looks like on the graph. Pretty identical to what I had, so I think I might have flashed the wrong tune. Actually, it was wrong. I did put the right one on there. We are fighting a little bit of temperature stuff, but as you can see, it was at 412, 514. So my map did pick up some on here. We're going to try one more thing on here and see what it does, and we'll go from there. All right, made a couple of changes here. Again, just looking at this, showing you where we're at on numbers, coolant's in there good. And let's see what we get for boost pressure out of this one. There we go. I discovered I had a limit on my previous one. That brought us boost up to 23.63. And focus is there. That was a good jump. We're at 451 and 562. So that's what we can run on 92 octane here with properly tuned. So that was quite the jump. We'll check the logs that came through on that and go from there. All right, so hopefully you can hear me here. We got all the fans going, trying to keep everything cooled off. I discovered one of the limiters that I forgot to pull out. So that was hitting us in the boost department. So we were only making 21.5 pounds. The last hit brought it up 2 more pounds of boost to 23.5, which is a max we can run there. Timing looked pretty good across there. Had a little dip like right here where I think it might have touched a little bit of the knock control up top, but nothing too significant. Kind of came across there nice and smooth. So if I close all and just do the last one, right, this gives you a good aspect of what I'm able to get out of these. So this is 451 and 562, and the stock run was this file right here. So that gives you what stock versus tuned looks like. Significant increases here, right? We're 120 some odd foot-pounds of torque up, another 80 horsepower carrying through here. All right, that's 365 versus 450. Sorry, it's kind of being weird on how it's displaying that. Sometimes dyno jet, it's got entertaining software. But just so you can see, like stock in 5th gear, you hit the speed limiter. It's also starting to tail off pretty good past 5,200 RPM. Here we've got it carrying a lot harder. So we're up here making almost 400 wheel all the way out to 6,000 horse or 6,000 RPM now. Okay, so we've now mixed an E40 concoction. We're gonna run that, see what we get. All right, take 2. We got logging going on here. Sorry, I had a little problem with getting the access port. Had to restart it real quick. We're here in our access tuner. We'll go ahead and make a rip now and see what this does on E40. Not enough hands to do all of this. So you can see, we got to relight the dash on because I got ABS stuff turned off, and we're rolling. So we got it in 5th gear. Here we go. We hit the test. That sounded pretty good. I think we got it. I'm going to stop my logging. And we'll hit the green button. That looks like we came up. We'll get a focus here in 1 second. Yep, there we go. 482. Big torque jump to 648. We'll take a look at it on the timing and everything else, but it definitely came up. Another 30 wheel and a whole lot of torque, which I probably should take a look to make sure we don't have any knock going on here. We were down in the negatives, so I think we were okay, and it slowly came up. And we got like 10.5 degrees out the back there. So that was pretty impressive. So that's E40. So ethanol fuel makes a huge difference. You can see here, like if we focus down here on this end, you can see I'm carrying 467 horsepower, whereas before in the green, which was my 92 octane, it was at 401. So we're carrying almost 70 wheel out the back end now. So this thing should be an absolute monster on the street. I'm looking at the logs. We're not knocking. It's not having an issue with this. Knock control is not interfering. The knock sensors are working perfectly on the pump gas ones. You can see where it's been pulling it in and out on some of those. We went up to E40 and it's a huge jump in your max torque. This thing should be a ripper. We're going to go make a hit with the draggy and see what it does. All right, here we go. We're going to close this out. I'm going to show you the stock file, which is this one right here. Or no, sorry, that was mistake file. This is stock. All right, closing this on out here. We'll go through it. Here's what we had stock. This was my first iteration tuned at 420. I discovered a limit that was in there. So I'm going to close both of these. We're going to show this the other way now. So this is stock. This is 91 octane tune from Cobb. Kind of that ugly little whoop there in the middle on how they set up some of their curves and graphs. This is my actual pump gas tune, which still has that whoop, but we actually carry it on out this time. Again, I'm trying to keep the rods of the motor, so from here up to 3200, I've got some load limits in it to keep it from slinging things. And then did my E40 tune, which took us to here, which has a huge torque jump in it. Again, not seeing knock, it's happy there. I might pull a little bit of the boost out and smooth this out and just try to pull it down to like 620. I'm not sure the safety of 648 on the longevity of the motor, but I do want you to look at the horsepower on this. Like the horsepower picked up all the way across the board. We're up at, if you can read that number there, that's 426 versus pump gas at this same level was 366. And then we had a little more on the peak when it came up. Like we made 483 peak to peak, which 483 came in at 4,500. It's not showing it, but we were at 450, so it's about a 33 wheel horsepower gain. But if you look at the same time up here, we're up 30 foot-pounds of torque. And then when we get out here to the end, we're carrying significantly more horsepower out through the back of this because we're at 467 versus 400 on the nose. So we're carrying almost 70 wheel out to red line. That's going to be huge on the street, huge when we actually go out and race this thing a little bit. Hoping to put this thing in the 12s. I think it's hilarious that we're going to take a full-size crew cab with a soft topper and go run a 12-second quarter-mile rip on an E40 tune. So we'll let you know how that goes. We're going racing Friday night. Get this video up here for the week, and hope everybody enjoyed. And if you got any Ecoboosts that you want to get tuned, this is kind of what you can expect on a base one. I do need to put an intercooler in it. I want to put some high flow down pipes on it. That'll free up a little bit more. We can run a little more boost for longer, because it is going to get hot on these nights where it's up in 80s where we're at right now. So we'll see how this all works out from there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and send me a note if you're interested in getting a tune. I remote tune everywhere. As you saw in this, we have access to Cobb. I tune through Better Built Racing for the Cobb stuff, so you can reach out to me or Josh on the Ecoboost for Cobb. And I also do HP tuners direct. This is just a learning thing for me to do it on Cobb instead of HP. I've done several of these trucks on HP already. There's some limitations in Cobb with all the stuff they do with their updates, but reach out to me. You can hit me at csmith@smithspeed.biz, and we will respond very quickly. Thanks, everybody. All right, we'll get a rip here. Let me roll the window up or two. All right, here we go. Ready? Stomp brake as hard as you can. Bring it towards about 3,000 RPM and then let go and hold on. You're gonna want both hands on the wheel. More. Keep your foot hard on the brake. Let it go. Go.
30. 60.
All right, slow down. I saw a car up here.
Quarter mile.
No, I definitely would have gone flying through the...
Okay, press harder on the brake this time. And we're really trying to hold the thing, get it a little closer to 3,000, then just let go.
Okay.
But I would, again, be ready with your hands on the wheel because it's going to go hard. More. Go.
Okay.
30. 60. Quarter mile.
There we go.
Okay.
Easy on the brake. Yeah, the brakes are a little sketchy on this thing now.
Half mile.
Ready? Just leave it where it is and just don't brake boost it hard like it's not going to do no two-wheel drive. Just a little bit of gas and then just stomp it and go. It's going to spin like a motherfucker. Go. Go.